Hey everybody, welcome to the Chris and Dan Show. Glad to have you here with us. Today we're actually reacting to a reaction because we can't find the original video. So we're going to react to this.
And I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, by the way. Disclaimer.
So you didn't watch any of this?
No, last night I just was so tired I needed to go to sleep.
Okay, so I actually watched this, and so we just did a previous video, Dan and I, on vaccines, and Dan referred to this, what we were doing, as cringeworthy. So that
COVID comic, Pfizer comic was a cringe.
So I think this video is cringeworthy, personally. So this is an ad meant to get black people to vote. Okay, but oh my goodness. So, well, let's get into the video. Let's watch like a minute of the video, and I got some questions for you.
Okay, but do black people not vote, or what's the problem?
No, well, no, that's not it. Let's watch the video and go from there.
So, all right, I really don't know what we're getting into.
Like I said, this is a reaction to a reaction.
Sure. Yeah, it's 11 minutes, so I don't know if we're watching all of it, but you tell me what's good and what's not.
We're two white dudes reacting to this, so we got a black dude who's reacting to it too. So
you tell me where to skip and what's good, all right?
Just start it from the beginning.
Oh boy. Wow. I honestly, I don't know.
Who is this dude? You watch him?
Yeah, a black conservative.
Okay. You ever watch Black Leftist to balance it out?
I watched leftist content, the Young Turks and the like. Sure.
Yeah, I watched them.
Right. I really don't know what to say to start this video off, except that I'm just embarrassed. Right? I feel like every other day I'm just like, wow, I'm embarrassed. Right? I'm embarrassed. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Midterms are coming up, right? And obviously, you're going to have a bunch of political ads and stuff like that to get people out and vote. And it seems like every election season, there's some cringy ad that's targeting black people. You guys remember doing the 2020 election? It was Get Your Booty to the Polls, featuring a lineup of mediocre looking strippers, right? Strippers, right? That is what they think will motivate black people to go and vote. Basically sex, booty, right? That's what they believe. And this ad right here from BLK dating app called No Voting, No Bucking takes the idea of sex sales to a whole nother level, okay? As again, the title of this political ad here is No Voting, No Bucking. I'm gonna let you guys use your imagination to figure out exactly what they mean by that. So, if you guys remember, this dating app is the same app that came out with the vaccine ad. The vaccine ad that featured Manny Fresh and Juvenile. The title of that song was Backs That Thing Up. Okay, remix of...
Oh, wait, I did not know this. This is true?
Yeah.
Hey, man, just like I said, respect to Marvel for getting that bag. Respect to Juvenile and Manny Fresh, man.
Sure.
You pay me that money, I'll make a song about getting backs.
Yeah. I hear you.
Back that thing up. Okay? At the time, I was like, this is a government psyop, right? And then we found out that it actually came from this black dating app, okay, which is supposed to be for black people, I guess. Now with this ad right here, I'm actually convinced that this black dating app is a government psyop, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video here, and I warn you guys, the cringe level on this.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? You gotta be kidding me! There's no way that can be right!
It's over 9,000. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and play this video.
Good show, by the way.
Yeah. Straight checks, I think we got one.
It's voting season, bruh.
Hey,
no voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Why the homie stop what's head. Faces a 9, abs a 10.
Yeah, so let's rewind here a little bit, okay? Y'all see what they're trying to sell to black people, right? You see this? You see this right here? This is what they're trying to sell the blacks. This is what they think we like. Okay? This is what they think.
Well, in fairness to any other race, like this is being pushed like regardless of race. I mean,
Sure, but there's only black people in the audience, so I tend to agree with him. This is being pushed on black people.
well, yeah, it's a BLK dating app, so it is the audience is only meant to be black people.
You don't see videos like this targeted at Asians or white people or even Hispanic people. You just don't. So, well, let's get into this a little
You
bit.
sure?
So, I'm almost positive. I've never seen one. So, well, let me ask you
Man.
something. So here, I'm going to go on a long roundabout way to make a point. Okay, are you ready?
No. I'm just not, man. I have too many thoughts on this.
So
I was just on a diversity panel yesterday.
okay. Well,
So that
this is
Yeah,
a question
okay.
that absolutely did not come up at that panel. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay, it's gonna be you're gonna laugh at first probably. What's the benefits to slavery?
I don't know.
Serious question. What's the benefits to slavery? Why
Free labor.
exactly, right? You're getting something cheaper than you would otherwise, right?
Yeah.
That's the benefits of slavery, right?
Mm.
Okay, so in 1932, that's when, and that's not too far removed from the Civil War, right?
Right.
Quick little bit of education for those who do not know. The Republican Party freed the slaves. They fought a civil war to free the slaves.
Oh, you're gonna get hate on that one.
Sure, Democrats fought,
And I don't know enough to argue you on that
Sure,
one. I know
well-
enough to know that you'll get hate.
Sure, whatever.
So FYI,
De-
guys, I don't know.
Democrats fought a war to keep black people enslaved. Okay, so in 1932, that was the first election in which the Democratic Party got more of the black vote than the Republicans did. Didn't take long. Why? You know what happened in 1932?
Great
And
Depression? Oh no, that was 29.
that was ongoing. It was
Oh.
going. But what happened in 32 was FDR promised, I believe it was FDR, promised free things to the people, right? Because it was the Great Depression. And it even said in his platform that black people will not qualify for this, right? This is the Democratic Party. But black people who were in need, like everybody else at the time, they felt that, well, if we vote for this, maybe we will get some after all, right? So they voted for the first time as a majority for the Democratic Party. And from that point on, Democrats pretty much own the black vote, right?
So I don't know enough about history to like
Sure.
debate on the Civil War thing, but one thing that I remember distinctively hearing Malcolm X say that does confirm your point is he said the one you should fear is the white liberal.
Yeah, without
Something
a doubt.
along those lines, right?
Yep. Well, he wasn't kind to either party. He also said, the Republicans are in their face with how they dislike you or something to that effect. But basically, the Democrats are behind you, stabbing you in the back, is essentially what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So he wasn't on either side. Okay.
No, but he did vote Republican just because he trusted them more,
I see.
to my understanding.
The devil
Okay.
you know versus the one you don't.
The one that's trying to play you for a fool. And
Mm.
that's where I'm going with this. So I think here's what the Democrat Party wants from black people. They want them to, and this is what's going to piss people off, but I honestly believe this. They still treat them as slaves, black people, right? You owe us your vote. We don't need to do anything for you. As a matter of fact, we want to keep you in as worse of a situation as we can, right? So that you need our help, right? We don't want you to improve your situation at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is absolutely against school choice, right? Which would improve a lot of people's situations if they could go to better schools. Democratic Party, they will not allow school choice. They will die on that hill, right? They're
What school
constantly
choice? Allowing you to choose what school, public
Yes.
school to go to.
yes, right? So poor kids are stuck going to these awful schools.
But didn't
Right.
they introduce busing? Because I grew up in LA in the 90s and busing, they were busing kids in from the inner cities and stuff.
So
It
yeah,
had to
there
be
is.
a progressive initiative.
Yes. So I'm not sure who initiated that though, because
That was under Clinton was the president.
well, think about what Biden said back in '84. I think it was '84. He absolutely said he will not allow that. He doesn't want his schools to become a jungle where his kids go. He said that. You can look it up, right? He will not allow kids of color to be
Right.
bused to his schools because he doesn't want it to be a jungle, right? Something to that effect. I mean, you absolutely can
So
look
you're
this
saying
up.
the Republicans put that
But
busing?
I don't know. So you've said that I'm always right when I say this stuff, and I don't want to put something out there that I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know who is responsible for that. Okay, it's
All right.
possible it was the Democrats. I don't know. But what I do know is they're very much against, just by their policies alone, from black people being able to be successful, right? In my opinion, right? And I think
Yeah.
this further just demonstrates this video on what Democrats think of black people, right? They really look at them as animals, in my opinion.
And
Like,
yeah, I mean, I have really no opinion. This is why I would wish we had for this reaction a black person from our audience on to give their thoughts. And we are reacting to a black person's reaction, so it's kind of like he's
kind of
here,
he's on. He's kind of on.
but it'd be better because I don't want to speak for black people, but
Sure.
I have a lot of thoughts on DEI initiatives as well. I don't think they're all evil. I think there's a lot of good intentions. I think some of the execution's questionable. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
So, and just to complete my thought, I don't think necessarily Republicans are the answer black people are looking for, but I think what I really think the two parties how they break down on this is Democrats view black people kind of as you're our slaves, vote for us, you're still on the plantation, vote for us, we'll give you some stuff, okay, right? And Republicans, their platform is more the way they treat everybody else. It's like, listen, do you like freedom and liberty?
Yeah, you're
Well,
on your own.
you're on your own. You're on
Get
your own.
yourself out of your mess. But
We're not going to stand in your way. We'll make sure that there aren't laws standing in your way, but you're not getting any help either.
yeah,
right?
but the polarization is what's making it worse, man.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Racism's worse than it's ever been under
But
Biden.
But I think people are starting to figure it out, though. I saw a poll just recently that 25% of blacks, and this has just never happened, will not be voting for the Democratic Party.
Mhm.
And it's said that if they don't get at least 80% of the vote, they can't win of the black vote. So
Yeah.
if that's true, that's going to be horrendous for the Democratic Party. I hope black people are starting to figure it out that, and I've always felt this way, that the Democratic Party is not there to help you. They're just there to make sure you vote for them and to do what they can to make sure you continue voting for them.
So let's fast forward to here.
No, they're doing the song. They're doing the song.
Yeah, but he went back to see this guy again. I want to get him to not talk anymore to see.
Oh, okay.
We'll get his opinion also, but I want to get more of the actual
Well,
content.
you're going beyond the song. Go back a little bit.
He's still talking. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the song.
All right, here we go. You love this song. All right, here we go.
I actually think it's kind of creative. I just think it's.
I gotta ask you a question, man.
Sure.
Why are you so interested in this kind of stuff?
'Cause
I mean,
think
you're a
it's-
white guy. Why?
Sure. I-
People are probably wondering, why?
Oh, I love my country. I think all of this is going to be the downfall of the country. I think until we understand that we all must assimilate to the same culture, and that means a lot of different things, we're going to be at each other's throats.
But don't you think that multiculturalism could be our
No.
strength?
No, it's not a strength. Multiculturalism has been proven not to be a strength. The Balkans are, again, a perfect example of this. Multiculturalism is not a strength. You need to assimilate to some like-mindedness.
But the
of what-
Balkans are not America. America has proven time and time again.
That's
that
not,
it
but
can
that's not true,
be
Dan. That's
unique.
absolutely not true. What you just said.
No.
So no. So in the 1900s, early 1900s, there was a huge immigration to this country, right? Where it was like 20% were immigrants in this country, right? But they were all white people, but they were still all from different cultures, right? It was Irish, it was German, and it was Italian. Okay. Guess what they did? They said, okay, we have too much of a problem with everybody not assimilating to a like-minded culture, right? We need to stop immigration until there's been 3 generations so that people can assimilate into the culture. And they did. They stopped immigration for the most part until 1964 when Kennedy
Yeah.
released his act.
You don't think technology kind of makes it? I mean, that's another podcast, but the times are different. I mean, the world is more flat in a way that
doesn't change the fact that a country needs a like-minded culture on what makes our country great. We don't even have anything near that. Matter of fact, half the country thinks America's awful and needs to be changed inside out. That's absolutely not a like-minded culture.
But a lot of the people thinking that are the ones struggling.
Well, again, that's another part of the problem, right? Where you have, I honestly believe Democrats intend to keep the minorities down.
All right. Yeah, I'm just curious. All right, let's get into this.
Calling the shots on this, okay? No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
Well, it's a 2-minute
But again,
video.
as you can see here,
Well,
you know,
back it up like
rap,
30 seconds.
sex,
See what he says
the
there.
agenda, right? Alphabet agenda. You see what they're
Right there.
in the agenda, right? There were no straight black men in the making of this ad. Not any of them that is actually running it. Okay, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I need to look up the executive team on this BLK dating app because there's no doubt in my mind there is a white liberal progressive somewhere at the
And
top.
I would agree with that.
Calling the shots on this, okay? No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. But again, as you can see here, you know,
I completely agree
rap,
with all of that.
sex,
Not a black person on
the agenda, right? Alphabet agenda.
team.
You see what they're using to talk.
Kind of as a point, I was on a diversity panel yesterday for I'm not gonna mention it, the name, but the whole premise was about reducing healthcare disparities when it comes to minorities in healthcare. It wasn't even about research; it was about healthcare.
Mhm.
And the director, she's been running this organization since the 70s. We did like a group picture, and it's mostly people of color in the Zoom, right? Like I was the only male, and there was white people, but I was the only male. The director said, "Everyone, like, let's smile on Zoom, and if you don't want to smile, like some people didn't turn on their cameras, we'll just put like a monkey or something in there." And I thought to myself, you know, and she's a white liberal. So I'm thinking to myself, I mean, that just what you said and he said got me thinking about that. And that was just yesterday.
Yep.
So what an interesting choice, because wouldn't you use, I mean, even if you're trying to be woke, wouldn't unicorn be better? Like, oh, you could be like free spirit,
Or-
you don't
or
have to choose like
Any
it's
other
like
symbol.
mystical. It's
Any
mystical.
Any
Yeah.
other symbol,
Yeah.
right?
Why
It could have been.
And
Why
I
couldn't
can
it be
tell
a guitar?
the people on there, I mean, I was just looking for their reactions and they were cringe.
Sure, no doubt.
Target black people. This is what they think we like. This is what we respond to. Okay? Again, you can't talk to black people like normal folks, right? We come out here and say, look, you should vote because it is important that you have a say in our democracy and you need to, educate yourself on the political candidates, to get the policies that you want. No, can't talk to black people like normal folks, right? You got to talk to them like this, okay? Again, absolutely embarrassing stuff, man. Absolutely embarrassing.
The 10, D is a to be determined. He got
Okay, but I'm sure here's my problem with these kind of videos. Everyone probably who's reacting to this thinks this is ridiculous. My issue is, and I don't know anything about this guy. You can find, if you really wanted to, you can find a video from like, I'm just making things up now, but something like the African American Small Business Owners Association, where they're making an ad about maybe getting black people to vote or something similar, where it's completely not disrespectful and not meeting this narrative. You can find it.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you there. But
But
my,
when we show this, and these things are what gets views, right?
sure,
So
sure.
this further polarizes the country that you love. This is just contributing to the problem, in my opinion.
So I agree and disagree. So what I mean is, I agree that you could find some normal videos talking
Sure.
to black people as though they're adults, unlike this video, right?
Talking to them like they're productive members of society.
Exactly, right? Opposed to this video, which is not, right?
Right. But this sells. This
My-
gets views.
My point is, though, you don't see the same video. I haven't seen one talking down to white people, talking to them like they're not adults, right? Like you're an animal or not so smart child, right? I just don't see those videos ever, right?
Hmm.
I don't see those videos for Asian people, and I don't see them for Hispanic people. I only see this kind of content for black people.
It might be for Hispanic, but I get your point.
So
All right, good point.
yeah,
Good point. But it's my point still stands too. That's why I don't like even reacting to this kind of stuff, because it's curating the worst
no, without a doubt. But
for attention.
But the problem is there's a lot of content like this,
Hmm.
in my opinion. It's just not about this. It's about a number of different things. My opinion.
Yeah.
Man, Joe, he don't seem broke. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single Q. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty.
Want to hit his booty? I gotta do this.
That's funny, man.
It is.
I gotta say, it is a what 8 out of 10 in creativity department. Okay, but still,
Much more creative
Again.
than that Pfizer comic.
this is what they're
Yeah,
pushing,
absolutely.
right? Oh my God, man! Wow.
Yeah, completely agree. The song. Wait, pause it.
No
Pause it, man.
voting, no touch. No voting, no
Hold on.
nothing.
I have to let my dog out.
Okay, so I even think the song's catchy, right?
Yeah, oh,
Personally.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I agree. It is. I mean, I don't know about the lead person here. Is that a male or a female? I think it's a male.
Yeah, that's another bag of worms. Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
exactly. So
Yeah.
some transgender dude they're picking. It's just odd. I mean, why only black people? Right? There's a reason to that. I'm just saying.
With that gender fluidity, that can be done across cultures. Your previous point was much better.
No. There's a reason to this. So they throw out a lot of this stuff, the wokeness, like we're all one tribe, right? Don't tell me. I'm just saying we in general terms, but if you're a black person, you have to vote for transgender stuff, right? And if you're a transgender, you have to vote for black stuff. And if you're Hispanic, you have to vote for both of those things too, right? We're all one big group of victims, right? That's what I think they're pushing.
Good puppy. Man, this guy likes this video too. He came in to see.
Yeah, he likes the song. It's catchy.
Yeah, Bodie, what do you think, Bodie? All right, let's continue.
No fucking, no voting, no voting, no voting, no loving, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing, no voting, no fucking, no voting, no voting.
Yeah, don't stop now. Stop my ballot box again, but my homegirl through. Put the buy in partisan politics.
Isn't that Trina? I think that's Trina.
I have no idea. I don't know who Trina is.
Yeah, I actually like her.
So nasty, make me wanna flirt ya. Show you how to be a pole worker. Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone could get it. Universal health care. If you wanna come.
Anybody can get it. Universal health care. So again, not only are they pushing right the agenda, right, with sex, washed up rappers, but they're also pushing left-wing policies, right? They're pushing a left-wing agenda as well too. They gotta throw that in there. Again, this is why I said at the top of this, the person pulling the strings on this can't be a straight black man, right? Can't be. Absolutely not. I don't believe it. Right? I don't believe it. It has to be a white liberal. There's no doubt in my mind, right? They said, yeah, this is exactly what we want, right? Throw that universal health care line in there. Sell some booty, right? Sell as much as you can.
Not necessarily. Who was it? Rick Ross had a line in the Drake song, "Bullet wounds aren't covered by Obamacare." So, not necessarily.
I don't
Throw
think
the
that's
alphabet
true.
in there.
The point is, one is saying, like, this is so good. The other is saying, it's not. Doesn't cover even bullet wounds.
Doesn't stop bullet wounds. It covers bullet wounds. But yeah, I get your point.
But the bar is not covered.
No.
We know what you black people like. We know what y'all want. Again, shameful stuff, man. Absolutely shameful.
Come before the deadline, coming to
Can you get this guy on the show?
No.
Chris, I keep asking you to get people on. Nobody's on.
Oh,
Only
okay.
people on are, like,
I'll try.
People that reach out to me for, like, biostats and stuff. And
Okay.
high schoolers.
I'll actually try. I like this guy.
Okay. Try him and others.
All right.
jacuzzi gerrymander this.
No love, no voting, no touch, no
Trina, I knew that.
voting, no nothing. Can't let me down, gotta stand up for something. No voting, no love, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing. BLK, we gon' stand up for something. Yeah, that's right. No voting, no love. And to go, don't hit the polls. Period.
But you know what, though?
Go
like,
hit the polls.
Try to get this guy on. Go hit the polls. I like the pun.
Yeah, as the guy lays down in bed naked.
Okay, business, just like we did the comic vaccine, Pfizer.
Mhm.
Separate the business, all right? This is marketing by this app.
Oh, sure.
Everyone's talking about it. I've never heard of this app. Now I heard about it. You never heard of it.
Hmm.
Millions, probably, depending on how viral it went. I think it's a success on their part. Marketing wise.
So,
Much better execution than the
just
Marvel thing.
just about to say the same thing. I think this will not have the backlash that the Marvel Pfizer.
No, that one was like creepy, like
no,
sinister, evil.
So the difference here, at least in my opinion, is I don't think people think too much about things like what we just watched. I just don't think they think like what I'm saying, right?
Critical
things that I've said.
or...
Yeah, they don't think critically about what they're viewing, right? Whereas I think Pfizer, for a couple of reasons, is different because people are very suspicious of Pfizer at this point, I believe.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's not a video; it's something you must read, right? So you do just by reading alone, I think makes you think a little more critically, opposed to listening to music.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So I think that's where if they would have made an actual video, I think they would have served them better. Marvel. I think it wouldn't have brought as much attention to what's really going on, and people would just glossed over it.
But at the end of okay, yeah, and it's also apples to oranges because Pfizer's a very powerful healthcare company, and this is a fun app. Like,
sure.
You can't compare. So,
well, you can in terms of just will people put deeper thought into what they're viewing?
Corporate responsibility,
not corporate, just the individual.
I think the app comes off as like fun, like we don't take ourselves too seriously, but there is clearly what people are saying is there's a deeper agenda if somebody's funding this. He thinks it's a psyop. Now this is where you get into conspiracies. How can you prove that? It's probably just a startup that got a genius marketing idea and had a budget and put some stuff together. But maybe they are a psyop, but that's harder to believe for me.
So I don't necessarily discredit that. I like you, I disagree. I don't think that's the case, but I acknowledge there's a possibility that it could be just because
probability of outcomes.
Just because of what happened in the 2020 election with Facebook and Twitter and the government.
So you're saying this guerrilla warfare, and they're going at small companies like, "Hey, let's infuse you with some cash. Do this."
Yep, that's a possibility. They surely did that with Facebook and Twitter. They told them what to say. Literally told them what to say.
That's one narrative. The other narrative is this is owned by LGBTQ Black people startup that they want to do this.
Oh, sure. That's much more likely.
That's a higher likelihood.
Much more likely. Much more likely. I'm just saying I wouldn't.
Because the reactor said it's a psyop.
I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying is I don't discredit that possibility. It's a possibility.
Oh, sure.
Just not likely.
I agree with you.
So, what I do think is likely, or what I perceive to be the problem with this video, is it's just my thought when I saw this initially, which was yesterday, was they're just treating black people like they're animals.
Yeah.
That here we'll give you a beat and sex, and now go vote. Now go do as you're told. That's the way I took it, because I had this thought yesterday. I just don't see this kind of material being thrown at any other race.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't disagree. That could be one way to view this. I still think it's like probably a quirky ownership that likes this kind of branding. But
possibility.
Let me play devil's advocate. What if there's some black people here that say, well, Chris, thank you for feeling that way about us when it serves your political narrative, but where's that outrage when we are mistreated by police? Where's that same white outrage?
So, and now you're getting into a whole nother topic that
I know. I'm just throwing the idea out there, but know that's what they would say.
Per capita, more white people are killed by police than black people, right? So that narrative is just incorrect. That narrative. Now, what is correct, there's even a black professor at Harvard did a study on this, that where black people are not killed at some rate that's outside of what's normal for white people, right? It's just they're actually killed less. What the problem is they're mistreated more in custody than white people are.
Okay.
That's
so then
the problem.
Let's say that. Let's say, where's your outrage when they're mistreated more?
And it's wrong.
Proportionately.
I'm actually, when BLM started with their defund the police movement, I was very opposed to that. I'm much more for that now. Much more. For a number of reasons.
Getting it shifting of the polls here.
Yeah, I'm for that for a number of reasons, because it affects me too, right? And it's sad to say, it kind of has to affect you to really.
Yeah.
So how black people are treated does affect me, right? It affects my country, and this you'll really disagree.
But it doesn't affect you the same as a black person.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course it doesn't. But I've always said I don't understand why, when we have from like a young kid, not young kid, but a young adult, 17, 18, 19, I've always felt, why are we, don't take this the wrong way, Dan, why are we allowing immigrants to this country when we have black people here that still feel like they're immigrants and don't belong?
As an immigrant, I'm super offended.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't understand why.
I'm not offended.
What I'm saying is, black people, we should get everything straight with black people before we're taking on other cultures.
As an immigrant,
people.
I actually agree. But there are, I mean, not to harp on this too long, but immigration is, I think, a value add when they are hungry immigrants.
Oh, yes, without a doubt.
Most of them are willing to work harder.
The difference is educated. That's the,
because let's
face it,
good times cause lazy people. Americans got lazy.
Absolutely, you can't deny that.
Immigrants bring that insurgence of let's work 20 hours a day.
But
then startup off the ground.
But then it's been so pushed into the black culture, at least as far as I know, what I perceive, it's been so pushed into the black culture that, hey, you can't get ahead, don't even try, right? So they stop trying, right? So, and then there's all these other people that take the jobs that they could take, the jobs where they could start to build a work ethic and move up.
Yeah, right? This is a complex issue.
It is very.
My dogs need a bath.
So
that's why they're here bugging me, but we got to interview this guy or somebody like him and kind of peel back these onions, the layers on this onion.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a Joe Rogan podcast, like 3 hours.
Oh, that's just to scratch the surface.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, I honestly, if there is any black people that watch this,
we know some in the comments.
I truly am not trying to offend anybody. It's just my perspective. I wish the best for everybody in this country, and I truly do.
But I know when I made that comment, we got people saying, "Yeah, Dan, ask him that. Ask him that." Where's that same outrage when it's not fitting your political narrative?
It has nothing to do with my political narrative. I just, in terms of, I do truly wish everybody were successful.
Yeah.
My political narrative is, I think the way we get there, that's where the political narrative comes in. I don't think handing people things is how we get there, right? You have to teach people, or have them learn on their own, that hard work's how you make it in this country. Right?
Yeah.
And just getting handed things is not the way to succeed. And I'm not saying all black people, that's the way, right? That they're getting handed things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I think what you need to do is have open doors for everybody, and then meritocracy wins the day. That's how I think you make a great country.
Man, this is so complicated, but we didn't actually argue too much, so that's good.
Yeah, I thought we were going to argue.
The video was funny.
Yeah, it was actually outside of the reason that it was done.
No, even for the reason. We don't know the reason.
I found it entertaining.
Yeah, we don't know the reason.
Right.
The owner might just like that kind of stuff.
Sure, I suppose.
It's funny. Higher likelihood of that.
Entertaining. It was entertaining. I'll give it that. I just don't like what it's being used for and pushed on.
That some people think it could just be this company wanted to do it.
I suppose it's a possibility.
Have you not seen a rap video before?
I highly doubt that's the case, being that the lead person's transgender. No voting, no effing. They say vucking, but you know what they're saying.
Yeah. But anyways, let us know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, comment, share.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.